We begin in Arizona. FBI agents combed through the rugged desert terrain searching for new clues in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Authorities believe the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie was abducted now 11 days ago. Missing person billboards showing Nancy's photo on the FBI tip line have gone up in Arizona, Texas, and California. The Pima County Sheriff's Office says they have received nearly 18,000 calls since February 1st, with more than 4,000 of those in the last 24 hours. Overnight, police detained, questioned, and then released a person of interest in the case. A man named Carlos says police detained him in Rio Rico, about an hour south of Nancy Guthrie's home. His release comes after a major break in the case, with the FBI releasing new photos and videos recovered from a surveillance camera on Nancy's front porch. They show a masked individual approaching the home and try to cover the camera, so you can actually see a gun in a holster at their waistband. CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is live in Tucson, Arizona. And Jonathan, we know the New York Post says investigators found a black glove during the search by Nancy's home. So what do we know about that?
Juliet, good evening to you. The New York Post reporting that that glove was recovered about 1.5 miles from the crime scene where we are right now. It was found discarded on the side of the road. CBS News has not been able to verify and confirm this reporting, but according to the Post, it appears very similar to the black glove seen worn in that very chilling video that was released yesterday from the night of the crime. We did see FBI agents going door to door in that area, speaking directly with residents. We heard from one resident that said they were particularly interested in any surveillance video from that morning of the crime regarding this glove. If it is connected to this crime, and that is a big if, it could carry DNA, very critical to this case. When we talk about a big if, you already mentioned the 18,000 calls that have come into the Sheriff's Department alone, 4,000 in just the past 24 hours. Many of the leads generated from those tips, according to the sheriff who I spoke with last week, have gone cold. So a big if here as this continues into day 11, now almost day 12, Juliet.
Unbelievable. What do we know about the person of interest released by police? Do we know what investigators told him?
A terrifying moment for him, because we did hear him speak. Before we get to that moment, I want to take you back to how this began. It was late last night. According to the sheriff, the SWAT team joined deputies in a city south of Tucson. This happened during a traffic stop. This person was detained. He was taken in for questioning. At the same time, you had the FBI go to what appears to be his home to search. They executed a warrant there. Hours later, after that questioning, that person was released, returned back home to a crowd of reporters. And he spoke to them, including our own reporter here at CBS News, Andres Gutierrez. Take a listen.
They just told me, stop moving. Like, what's your name? Carlos. And that's it. They put me in the cop car. You gotta wait like 2 hours. I waited like 2 hours until the detectives came here and everything.
Oh my God.
And when they finally told you this was had to do with some kidnapping, like what were you thinking?
Like, what the f am I doing here? I didn't do anything, to be honest. Like, I'm innocent.
And you don't even know who the lady is? Do you know who Savannah Guthrie is?
No. I don't follow the news.
Right.
I don't watch
You don't watch the Today Show?
No.
And he went on to say, I didn't do it, but I hope they find whoever did do it. Regarding that search effort, still no suspect, still no person of interest, and still at this hour, no clear sign that Nancy Guthrie is alive, Juliet.
All right, Jonathan Vigliotti. Jonathan, thank you. Let's bring in former FBI Special Agent Jeff Harp. So, Jeff, we heard about the black glove that was found while searching the roads near Nancy Guthrie's home. So what do you suspect investigators are doing with that evidence right now?
Well, I mean, obviously they're looking to determine whether that is the exact type of glove that was seen on the video camera. One of the real important things that that came to my mind was the early release of the crime scene. Why is that so important? Is because it's real easy to contaminate a crime scene with foreign DNA, and we hope that DNA was collected at the crime scene before it was released. Any kind of foreign DNA they found on the porch could have been hair follicles or anything that might have fallen off during that guy's attempt to get that camera off the front door. That would correlate with DNA inside that glove.
Let's talk about last night's FBI elite hostage rescue team deployed to Tucson. What are their capabilities and what do they bring to a search like this? And what does that indicate about where things stand in this investigation?
Yeah, Juliet, I was a member of that team for about 5 years, and so what that tells me is it's very serious and it can be very dangerous. One of the things they do is they bring capabilities that other departments and other SWAT teams, to include the FBI SWAT teams, don't have. They travel with part of the Critical Incident Response Group, which is a tremendous amount of assets that the Bureau brings, probably the best of the best within the FBI.
There was so much attention on last night's person of interest who was then taken into custody. What does that mean? I know that they're looking and they're searching, but that was a miss.
Yeah, and that's not uncommon. You got to remember that they are going off of leads, and I think we said there's 4,000 or 18,000 leads out there. You've got 56 field offices with the FBI that are bringing in, and these tips that are coming in are being farmed out to all of these field offices, so they're going to be run to the ground. It's not uncommon to go out and detain somebody for interviewing or questioning to make determination whether they know anything or not. It could just be happenstance. This person may look like, sound like, or behave like what we saw at the front door. If that's the case, the Bureau's not going to pass that up. They're going to send that lead out. Sheriff's departments, they're going to go interview people to find out whether that's a good lead or not.
Yeah, they're actively searching, clearly. Okay, let's talk about those leads. So Pima County Sheriff's Department says it's received over 18,000 tips so far within the last 24 hours. So how do investigators sift through all of those calls and decipher what information might be useful?
That is a challenge. I sat in the FBI Strategic Operations Center right after 9/11. I mean, like hours after 9/11. We were getting thousands of leads, and some of these were scratched on paper. Some of these were, hand notes taken by people, and you're trying to farm that information out to the appropriate source, and you're trying to make a determination whether it's got any value or not. The bar is pretty low to make a determination whether there's value or not, because you don't want to miss something. You don't want to pass something up. It gets really, things get really in a mess quickly because there's a lot of information coming in. The Bureau, the law enforcement, other law enforcement agencies have analysts working on this stuff, trying to make some sense of what's coming in.
Yeah, it is tedious, and our hearts go out to the family. I can only wonder what they're doing. Does it mean that they're holed up with security and can't leave wherever they are just because of the nature of this crime and abduction?
Likely, I did see some footage today where it looked like they may have had some of their security detail going in to collect some things. That's not uncommon either. They don't want to contaminate the scene anymore. Who knows what we'll go back and find there. But the family has to continue on to try to live some semblance of a normal life, whatever they can at this point. So they're going to be held up somewhere, probably with paid security services. But again, they've got to eat, sleep, and do everything according to their life.
Yeah. Jeff Harp. Jeff, thanks so much. We'll catch up with you again. Appreciate your expertise.
Sure thing.
Authorities are asking anyone with information in this disappearance of Nancy Guthrie to contact the FBI tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI.